location.
Let's go.
Hello, 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 hello. Happy Tuesday,
Hello.
everybody.
Hello.
Oh, it is chilly. It's not that bad. It's only like 30 degrees, but it just can't get warmed up. It's just, ugh.
It's a damp cold.
I don't know. It's just, it wasn't too windy out today. I am very, very pissed at some doctors, though. Oh,
Uh-oh.
yeah. We went down and my son got x-rayed and all this stuff. And she comes in and says, and she's putting the x-rays up for us to see. Well, pictures nowadays, it's not, like the old days where they stuck it in the light. His injury was so bad. I mean, it wasn't where the doctor that did the surgery himself told me it was. This is the little knuckle of and I'm not a doctor. I don't know what the terms are for this, but the little knuckle ball joint thing that goes into your hip,
Right.
the bone where it connects to that little ball thing, that's where the fracture was. And it wasn't a fracture, it was a break. And this is a crippling injury. And there's a chance that this surgery that he did won't take. And where they told me it was, where the hip comes up on the side, there was a fracture in it. My son was there when they were telling us this and everything, and that's not where it was. He doesn't have a plate. He has a bar going up through his leg bone into that ball joint where screws are screwed into that and screwed into his leg. It's I was like, how do you mix something like that up?
What do you say?
Well, we're not dealing with the doctor up in Columbus.
Oh.
We have another doctor down, which was the point of getting the transfer. I couldn't get them to transfer the stuff down. We actually got where he was going to physical therapy. The lady called down to the doctor in Columbus and told him, look, if this boy needs a checkup, and I can't go up to Columbus because my truck is not working well, so you need to transfer all the records and everything down to so-and-so doctor. If not, I'm going to call the board of whatever the doctors, I forget what she says, and submit it through them. Ding! The fax came in before she was off the phone.
Yeah. We could talk about it later, but I would definitely get all of this documented with. That's.
Yeah, I'm gonna do stuff tomorrow. But I was like, I mean, we're thinking it's just the side here, and it's not healed. There's you can still see the fracture in the bone, and the fact that what they did with the referrals, it's ridiculous because there's a point to where you have to keep watching this to make sure that the blood vessels in the bone don't die. If they die, he doesn't walk because it's part of you know, because if the bone dies, then you can't replace it right there.
Yeah, that's something.
It's yeah, I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Why? How do you go from here to your leg? Because I'm like, oh, that's not that bad. You know, I mean, a hip fracture is a fracture, but this was the the bone that connects to the ball that goes into your hip.
The femur up top
Yeah,
part of the femur.
yeah. And they because it's that section, they still call it the hip. It's a hip fracture.
Mm.
Yeah, it's. I'm like, oh boy. So it's more serious than even the doc, even the lawyer or getting hold of the lawyer needs updated on this because
Absolutely.
it's just not the other fracture what we were
Right.
we were told. It's something a lot worse.
Yep. They need all that documentation.
Hmm. So now I have to, and um, we went to get his blood work so you can see if he how his vitamin D and everything was because you need a lot of vitamin D and whatnot. And he doesn't like milk or anything like that. So
Well, you can take D in pill form, and you can take calcium in pill form, and
yeah,
you know,
he doesn't do that though.
you won't take pills.
He's autistic, so
Oh,
there's some things that he won't do and
yeah.
whatnot. And the thing is, this room where that blood was getting done was like the size of a small closet.
Wow.
And this lady, I'm not being mean or anything but she was a big woman.
All right.
So when he sat down, he was blocked in, and she was smacking his arm to try to get
Right. Vein
the
to pop
vein to
up.
pop out and stuff, and he wasn't having. They had me come back there, and he refused to get it done. And I said, "Well, that's fine. We'll give him stuff like he is vitamin D and calcium deficient."
Right.
Um, yeah, it certain things, just the feel of things will
Right.
trigger stuff and
Right.
smells and loud sounds and things.
Yeah. You can get a pill crusher too at like CVS
Oh yeah, we already have one
and put that like into Jello or
at
put it in
applesauce.
that's even better.
Yeah, been down that road.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
hard to
what?
taste
How's
it
it
in that.
going?
It's hard to taste it in the applesauce with that little bit of like gritty texture from the stuff.
Oh, I crank them things down.
Oh, the single serving applesauces? Yeah. Good stuff.
Hope cake is made from flour. Oh, what cake?
Oh, he's speaking in code.
I
Well, gotta have something to do with the carnivore.
oh, I haven't had any cake, so I don't know.
It's cake code.
Yeah, they do, and it's hard sometimes, but You just got to roll with it.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even like chocolate milk. He'll drink strawberry milk every once in a while, but you can't even get at our Walmart. They don't even have the strawberry. They only have chocolate. The little bunny rabbit guy.
Right.
What's his name?
Nesquik or
Yeah,
Nestle.
one of those.
Yeah.
I keep thinking the Twix guy, but that's the cereal.
Close enough.
Yeah. Yoo-hoos, I don't think they don't have milk in them.
That's chocolate water.
Yeah. But because he loves vegetables and stuff like that, so we went down and got some spinach and got some beets and mushrooms, and probably tomorrow I'll pick up some kiwis and stuff, because kiwis have a little bit of D in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. They don't have it in this. Ever since, the 2020 thing, there is no variety. There used to be all kinds of different vegetables in cans. Now it's corn, green beans, and a few other things, carrots, and then you have some little specialty items like spinach and what was it? Unfortunately, my son has now found out that he loves collard greens.
My man.
Because
yeah.
he wouldn't try them before because of the texture and the way they looked, and then he had them this year, and he ate. He went back for seconds and thirds and says, "Where can I get these collard greens at?" I said, "Sorry, we're in the north. They only supply that during New Year's."
Is that something they even sell? Like, I mean, I know you probably could get canned collards, but do they sell fresh at any point or no?
During the right before New Year's, and then it's gone. The same thing with the cans. Once those cans go, you don't see it for another year.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was never a picky eater. I always ate all my vegetables, and I don't know. I loved them.
Yeah.
Only thing I didn't like was peas, and what was the name of that one? See, I hated it so much I forgot its name.
Asparagus.
That's just a Jersey in you.
Brussels sprouts.
Oh, how do you not like Brussels sprouts?
No. Well, I do now.
Oh.
They're deep fried.
Oh yeah. I don't like them, the frozen mushy things.
Yeah.
Those are. I mean, I'd eat them, but you'd have to put a pound of butter in them and let them set in it for a while.
Deep fried mixed with onion straws and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
I never knew Brussels sprouts existed till I became an adult. As a kid, it was just something we never had, Even when we had gardens and stuff as a kid, we'd had other things. I'm like, man, these things are like little baby cabbages almost.
And lima beans.
I don't remember.
Lima beans.
Oh, I won't touch a lima bean.
That all goes in the fruitcake.
Man, I have to rethink our friendship. No limas?
No, sir.
What about butter beans?
The same thing. I was force fed those, and I'd never eat them again.
I like asparagus.
Same thing with liver.
Broccoli.
Yeah.
Corn. I love corn.
Oh yeah.
Corn.
We all know that.
Yeah, we all. Only thing is, I can't have it. So Oh.
Yeah, my oldest daughter was graduating, she said she wanted my corn that I grill. And I said, there's a lot of people coming. That's a lot of corn. And we went to a farm down here and bought a big old batch of it. And I didn't have nowhere to, because what I do, the husk and all, I soak it in water. I submerge the corn in the water and everything and let it sit there. And then when I'm ready to grill it, I put it on the grill and it cooks inside that, the husk. And because people think whenever you'll get those, the little silk things, it'll be hard to get out. But once it cooks, it just slides right off. And that's some of the best corn you'll ever eat because it cooks inside that husk and silk. And if it soaks long enough, you don't get no burns or anything like that. Some of the best corn that is with sweet corn. I don't know if there's any other corn that you would do that with. But there's a lot of stuff going on in the last few days. First of all, the Super Bowl.
Lord.
I didn't watch it. I didn't. I only watched bits and pieces that popped up, which was Trump, and then that poor blonde girl that got booed. And they tried to say that the reason why she got booed is because the stadium was full of Philadelphia fans. And Philadelphia fans hold grudges and this and that and everything. And I said, well, why did everybody cheer for Trump if that was the case? Because Philadelphia being the city, I think it's more or less is because she spoke up against Trump and against what he was planning to do. Yeah. I think that's the main reason. It's not because she's dating somebody from Kansas City. I think that had some to do with it, but not as much as everybody was booing.
Grace.
It went, and that's the thing that the news was putting on. Oh, it's because the Philly fans. She's dating somebody from Kansas City, so that's why they booed. I'm like, no.
Philly fans are obnoxious, but I don't think that had anything to do with it.
Yeah.
That I knew that game was over at halftime.
Oh yeah.
The Phillies' offensive line was not putting up with anything Kansas City had to throw at them. They were punching them in the nose, not literally, but
that's the thing.
Yep.
Literally.
You win the war there.
The Chiefs didn't have a defense. They haven't had a very good defense all year, and because they were putting those equal to the Lions that had practice squad people on the defense. That's how bad their defense was. I'm not saying it was bad, but that's how far back it went because of injuries and whatnot.
Yeah.
And those were the two teams that had great offenses, but they didn't have any defense, so they wouldn't win a Super Bowl.
Well, you know what the deciding factor ultimately was, don't you? There's all those ex Bulldogs Philly had on their defense. These guys are ruthless.
Yeah, but they just didn't have an answer.
Oh yeah, they had his number because
6 times.
there's always Mahomes. His weakness is one direction. And if they can keep going that direction, his percentages go way down.
Well,
not to mention him being on the ground so much.
Yeah, I mean, actually, he's a very good scrambler, but
to one side.
What did him in was he was out of rhythm because he was getting whacked so often.
Yeah,
and, you know, you got a 340-pound dude coming at you from your backside, you're going to get spooked, and that's it.
No, 340-pound guy. I'm not nowhere around there anymore.
And those guys are fast too. So
yeah. They're not like the fridge anymore. Have you seen some of those 300 plus guys run the 40?
Yeah, they're quick.
Oh, they're fast.
It's like, where did this come from?
Like
I mean, they have like quarterbacks, and they're faster than the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one main thing I wanted to go over today, which I found very interesting, is this is from the Senate. This is what they're, it's over here. They're saying that Musk and Trump are well, I guess they kind of are taking over the government, though. But they meant it in a different way. They're saying that they're making money from it and this and that, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
They're making money, but it's going for all the crap that the last president spent and everything. Here's one of the things that Trump, and this was what was his name? Oh, I can't remember his name. One of the senators. Anyways, he says Trump also appointed Musk, CEO of SpaceX and Tesla, and the owner of X, as a special government employee to lead the new Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Yeah. This is the most serious constitutional crisis the country has faced, certainly since Watergate. It depends what end of it you're on, is the way I look at that.
Where'd that article come from?
Well, that report came from ABC.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah, and it was Murphy who said that. Chris Murphy. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
In an interview with ABC that aired Sunday, which nobody watched it because everybody's watching the Super Bowl, attempting to seize control and power for corrupt purposes.
Right.
Now, we could say this. Now, it may have been true if, Musk found all this money and they didn't report it and didn't say anything about it, But when all this billions of dollars that they're finding that's being wasted for silly things, we went over this last week, but those things, all that money, and I can almost guarantee you're not going to get all that money because that money didn't exist. Probably half of that money went to special bank accounts and things, but you can cut it off so it doesn't get spent for another year or whatever. But the fact that they're saying that, you know, it's a corrupt thing, it is, but it's on the other end that the corruption is allegedly.
Allegedly, right?
Yeah. Because look at the money that they found so far. In how many days are we? We're not even up to a month yet.
Yeah.
And the one other thing I got, Murphy also said the agency was a thorn in the side of the Chinese government, claiming that Trump's move to eliminate it will make America less safe around the world. It's one of the company or one of the programs, I guess.
They're just gonna spit their vitriol, and it's all they got caught. You know, I mean, this stuff isn't theory. This is all what they found.
Yeah,
It's fact. It's fact. It's on the books.
And there's a lot more that they're finding that they haven't got done with investigation, so they make sure where that because I'm sure when they start going through records and saying 50 million for condoms, this can't be real. So they have to investigate it, and oh wow, they did spend 50 million for that.
I think the thing that bothers me the most is, I mean, we've got the three branches of government: legislative, executive, and judicial. So now you've got an appointed judge somewhere who's probably radicalized and whatever. Allegedly.
That was the other thing, the federal judge.
Yeah, and actually putting a stay on this, so he or she, I don't know which one it is actually telling the Secretary of the Treasury, okay, you can't look at your own books.
Judge John Bates.
Okay, so he's telling the Secretary of the Treasury, you cannot look at your own books. That's absurd. I've never seen the judicial branch get involved with the executive like that's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It's mind-blowing. These people are just, I don't know, it just pisses me off.
It's, and like I was telling you backstage with this humongous group of protesters that they had going on today, that could have filled a small McDonald's out there screaming and hollering about, and they always go back to, the Russia thing. I'm like, the Russia thing's been proven wrong. Where have you been? Yeah. And they always bring up the stuff that is not proven, that is said by the media. You know, like the racism thing with the protest with the guy that did the driving. We'll just go there. When they cut half of his interview off to make him sound a certain way, because he said there's good people on both sides or all sides or whatever, and they cut it off to where it sounded like he was talking about one side was the only good side and stuff like that. Yeah, they need new material. They just can't find it unless the media gives it to them. They don't have anything. B.
Hey, you're bad, girl.
Uh,
Oh, she was aiming for me. See that? I figures. You're fired. We're not having you be our drone flyer.
Sandy, you got to learn to duck.
I'll
Right?
probably jinx myself now, but I think I'm one of the few that have been lucky to evade all the dumpings and throw-ins. I got kicked one time. I got kicked in Missouri. I learned my lesson then.
It's probably from Dana B. She likes
Oh,
to
yeah.
kick people.
I know. Grace says there's your Yeti pit.
Yeah, she kicked me 582 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, the U.S. District, and I don't know if this is the one you were talking about. U.S. District Judge John Bates of the United States District Court for District of Columbia, a George W. Bush appointee, ordered Trump to restore the pages by midnight. And the pages he's talking about is the website pages for he said, she said thingies.
Right.
I don't know what a good way to say that one is. The genderish things.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll leave that one
Evidently,
alone.
everybody's upset about that. And if you already know about it, why do you need a website that tells you?
Gee, I got myself.
Yeah, it's now last time it was, you know, the House and Senate was going after him to impeach him for this and that. Now they're using judges.
Yep.
And I'm not sure about the process of, you know, judges allowing to do this and that and whatnot, and how long the process of it is. But yeah, it's and that there's been so many of these come up today. Well, the last couple days. And the one thing I'm looking forward to is and this come from Musk himself. Doge to investigate for federal government workers, and we all know who those are, who managed to acquire tens of millions of dollars of net worth out of thin air.
Mm-hmm.
Why just now? This should have been done every time somebody's up for election. It should be it should be a thing. Well, let's see if they've gained any money from the last time they ran. Oh, this person made $2.5 billion. Where did that money come from? It should be a normal. Because a lot of people say, well, they all should be audited every year. Yeah, you're the government is the one that's going to do the auditing. So if you trust the government to do the audits for those people, I don't think it'd go too far.
Yeah.
But again, you're going to have it to where, depending who becomes president next time, or the 4 years after that, how safe is this Doge going to be? You know, eventually it's gonna get tainted, and it will be another government run thing.
Well, I saw one report, interview, whatever you want to call it, that says they can pass a law, through the House and Senate, that this is always in place. Then, if you get someone corrupt in there again,
Mm-hmm.
they're either going to follow the law or they're not. But if the law is on the books, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. But that's better than not being on the books at all. So,
yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. It could be on the books, but so was 50 million of condoms on the books.
Right. But when you hear the whiners,
yeah,
and those are the ones that got the most to lose.
And I'm sure that was a good program for many years until it wasn't. Until it was used as oh, this is an easy way to make money. Allegedly. Oh. Oh, let me see. Yeah, and I won't want to talk about that, but do some digging about the EPA advisory. Information on that. I'm not going to bring it up right now because it's still not official, but it looks very official to me.
Look into what now?
The EPA.
Okay.
The agency that it's about the climate change.
New guidelines or something they put out.
Well, that was before the administration before. All this money that was put into that for the climate change. Where did it go? What did they do with it?
Yep.
I know they made some birdhouses and things like that, but not the money that was put into that. Ooh, a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, the investigations on those documents are still going on, so that's going to be interesting if we get to see some of it. I still say I know the cause and everything for that one, but
I honestly don't believe it would be any more information than the most knowledgeable one of us would know. I don't think it's going to be any like, oh my goodness,
Too many years have gone by, too many hands in the pot since then.
Yep. Now, if it was the original files and nothing was blacked out, that would be great,
Yeah.
What, whatever they put out is going to look like Morse code.
Mm-hmm. I can what it. Oh, it was. And that's 10 paragraphs.
Yeah.
Because you'll see these. Well, I've got all these documents that prove so and so. They come from the government, and they open it up, and it's just a bunch of black lines that's been blacked out. And it's like, what's this say?
Like
I don't know. It's classified, but it's declassified.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
I mean, it's just one of those events. I mean, it's just the people that know, the people that don't know. It's always that lore and that mystery, you know. It's
Mhm.
it's just one of those. It's not really iconic. I guess it is like an iconic moment in American history. You know, it's polarizing. People remember it.
It's like the whole. Um, I don't know if anybody's seen this where and it's the Democrats. I hate to always seem like I'm picking on them, but it's they do it to themselves. They were going into the Department of Education. I think that's the building it was supposed to be, and that's being dismantled pretty much because it really should go back to the states. All that money that we're spending on a department that doesn't do anything but tell the states what to do or gives them guidelines of what to do. Billions of dollars have been spent on that department. Well, they were going up to talk to somebody that was getting fired. I forget who she was, and they weren't allowed to go in. And they're just, I don't know who the little old lady was over on the side, but who are you? Where
Oh,
the
that's James Brown. I mean, Maxine Waters. Hey, they're a famous. Well, I don't know if he's famous, but a YouTuber caught her out on the street the other day, and he says, "Oh, you're getting into this big, beautiful black SUV, and you've got bodyguards, and
yeah,
we paid for all of that as a taxpayer. And you're okay with that, but now you're going after
yeah,
people that are finding out that the spending is just off the chain, and well, she didn't have a thing to say. She just dummied up. So it's all a show. All these
yeah.
protests, it's all a show.
Um, yeah, I got like 3 or 4 emails asking me if I seen those thingies in the sky, and I'm like, when there's not snow clouds and storms above, I can still see them. They're there. It's just they're covered up with winter.
Yeah.
um, and that I don't want to get into the subject of that too much because where we're at, but the technology is out there to where if you didn't, um, if you wanted to put stuff in the air, you wouldn't see it.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm not saying that it's not an afterthought of something that they put in the fuel or anything like that, because I don't want to get into it because there a lot of people will fight you and call you names if you don't believe certain things. Um, but like I said, I try not to get into it because I'm not a scientist that knows what's in the sky and everything. But if there was something that they wanted to put in the sky, you wouldn't know about it until it was too late. I mean,
yeah. Now,
trains do enough damage as it is, let alone all the airplane crashes and stuff.
B, I did not see any trails today. I think it's a full moon tonight, or almost a full moon.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Why would they do it in the daytime? Of
Right?
course, they may do it at nighttime, and that's leftovers from the night before. I don't know, but that would be my thinking. If you're going to spend all that money to put stuff in the air and whatnot, why would you make it noticeable? Why just make it,
That's the easiest way to make it
transparent?
unknown. You know, if you want to
Yeah,
hide something, you just put it in plain sight in a
yeah,
way, you know.
yeah. Or that's the thing. Maybe it was meant to be seen that as that.
Could be.
That's
It's so obvious that it's
over
too
here thing.
obvious. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to it's hard to say, and that's the thing is, and the drone thing, came out, and didn't I might have said something about that. it was meant to, it was test being run. A snow moon.
Cool.
Well, I'll be happy to see the moon, not the snow, though. Yeah, that too. And maybe they just don't have the formula right, and that's what they've been trying, allegedly. But who knows? There's for every 5 scientists that say what it is, there's 50 that will dispute it with the same science that they use to make it. They'll and that's the way it's always been. How many times have eggs been bad for you and then good for you?
Like red wine.
It's all scientists that's telling you this. So if the science can be changed just by the scientist, what makes it real or not real?
Allegedly.
Yeah. Full moon is on the 13th. It's not Friday. Okay, it's Thursday.
No, it's Thursday.
Oh. There was a Friday the 14th movie out, wasn't there, one time?
Friday the 14th? I don't remember that one. Could be.
I think so. Let me look real quick. Saturday the 14th. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's what it was. Saturday the 14th.
So that means Friday's the 13th.
Well, in
Friday.
that movie. And I think it was in 1981. Richard Benjamin, Paula Prentice, and Jeffrey Tambor.
What type of movie was it? Like a horror or like a spoof? Or
I think it was like a spoof type thing before before that got popular. Because it says it's B horror, prodigy, vampire horror, comedy, fantasy horror, sci-fi.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh boy. Friday is the 14th.
Yep.
Oh, Valentine's Day.
Uh-oh. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Admit nothing.
You can look at it a few ways. That you save money that day, or
How much you save money?
Well, if you're single.
Oh yeah.
Or you could look at it a different way. You failed that year.
What if you like chocolates and you buy yourself a box?
That's still a win. You know,
I got this from my sweetheart.
You don't have to share.
Right?
Yeah.
Still in my off season. I don't come back till after Valentine's.
That reminds me of the
Jeff. You couldn't wait till Valentine's Day?
Yeah, how about that? Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
45 years.
And you couldn't wait a couple days for Valentine's Day.
I know, right?
or was it one of those shotgun weddings? I never knew what that was until
Oh, you saw one,
uh, Andy Griffin.
right? Or Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh, was there one on that one too?
I think so. There's probably one on all of those shows.
Yeah. Oh, what was that guy's name? Oh, I can't remember his name now. Ernest
what-
T. something other.
Ernest
What
T.
show?
Bass.
Was it? Was
Ernest
that
T.
his name?
Bass. That Jim Varney was his actor.
They had that big old comb over.
Oh, no.
What show was it from?
Um, Andy Griffin.
You talking about Floyd? The barber?
No. He was the one in the hills all the time.
Oh,
And that he was kidding, or I almost said
I
bad
couldn't
words.
tell you his name.
Uh,
Not without Googling.
wrangling up Andy for the shotgun wedding. Him and his brother. So I can't remember his brother, but I remember him.
Well, I'd mail you a hug, but I don't think they could fit that in the box. You're too big of a postage box.
Yeah, there wasn't Ernest on there on the show.
Yeah,
Was
I
he
thought
the one that was
Ernest
always-
T. Bass or something.
No, Ernest T. Bass was played by Jim Varney in the 80s. He was that comedian. Ernest, wasn't he the one that was always drunk? He'd come to the station and get locked up for the night?
No, that was oh,
I forget.
yeah, I'm gonna have to go. Where's
It's,
Cast at here?
It's Ernest T. Bass. That was the guy that always wore the vest, right?
And the cat.
Yeah, the little
Otis Campbell
Otis.
was the drunk.
Okay.
He was
Yeah.
the drunk.
Yeah, Otis the drunk.
You know, you're getting old when you look at the TV shows that you used to watch, and all the people are in black and white.
Yeah, they don't even have color photos of these people.
Hey,
Oh,
Tony.
Oh, there's Judd Fletcher. Oh, there's Ernest T. Bass. Yeah, that was the guy I was thinking that. But he looks old. Well, of course he's old, but see if I can get a younger picture of him. Oh yeah, here's one. Let me go ahead and share this. There's my share button. Screen. His name was Howard Morris.
Okay.
That guy right there.
yep.
Yeah.
As Uncle Goopy. 54. He actually died in 2005.
I wonder how old he was back when on the show.
Yeah.
Hmm.
He was born in 1919 in the Bronx, New York.
Wow.
Well, I bet you he was tough back in them days.
Oh yeah.
1919.
They have no choice.
Well, remember Leon? The first time I seen him was in Star Trek.
Huh.
Leon.
Yeah, the little boy that eating the sandwich all the time. And he's actually still alive. He's 65 years old.
Dang.
The original Star Trek series you saw?
Yeah, the original Star Trek.
What was he? Just like a one episode guy, or
I think it was. He was they picked him up in an alien ship or something like that, and he was a
that's
little boy.
Clint Howard? That was Ronnie Howard's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was Leon on the Andy Griffin Show.
Okay. Because I think he was also in Gentle Ben, wasn't he?
I think so. Oh wow, they actually the announcer. He was born in 1925 and he passed in 1996.
Wow. Tasha, are you having a bad night? Just asking for a friend.
1957 TV article. Shirley Chester, the tip tops. That looks interesting. Little story there. Ohio Deadline, Southern Ohio edition. I'm going down a rabbit hole. I need to get out of there.
Rabbit holes.
Yeah, evidently there's some Colin Mel is his name. He was the announcer. You know, the beginning part,
right,
that started and whatnot.
No, you can't. Somebody asked, "Can you see carbon monoxide?" No.
No.
One of the things we do anytime we build a new home or anytime we do a service change, if their smoke detectors aren't up to code, that's one of the things that we're required to do by our code, is to upgrade them. And you have to have one in every bedroom, and in the hallways you have to have carbon monoxide detectors. And they all have to be interconnectable, meaning that if the one in your bedroom goes off, they all go off.
Okay. What height do you have to have them down there?
It's not so much a height requirement, it's more of like a location. Now there are certain things like you can't it can't be near like any fans or any ductwork.
Kitchens and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's mainly just rule of thumb is we usually put it like about a foot off of the door inside bedrooms. And then we'll put it about center ways and the carbon monoxide, we'll usually put it about center ways in the hallway.
Yeah, we have to have them below 6 feet here. So we have them like right here on our walls.
That makes sense. Yeah.
About 5 feet because
yeah.
And it's probably different in every county or location, but
it is.
According to their thought is if carbon dioxide is filling up your house, you don't want it to wait till it gets all the way up here. You want it to go off earlier. And the smoke alarms go up higher.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They're almost to the ceiling.
Yeah, because the difference in carbon dioxide and the smoke are, and that's that is an important thing to before you go and buy that kind of stuff is do research for those things.
Oh yeah, because they aren't cheap, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. There are some websites, you have to be careful of these. I'm not telling people to go out and do it, that you can go and get free ones.
Fire department used to do that.
Well, fire department will give you smoke detectors. The carbon dioxide depending on where you're at.
Mm.
And we even have them. Well, in the basement, they're actually up high. But on the floors where we live in, they have to be under 6 feet. Then that's the carbon monoxide things. Who's backstage? There's nobody backstage.
Maybe it's Doge.
Yeah, we had to
It's
we
me.
had to do a whole
It's
service
me.
change today for a family.
There,
called
there's
us
no, oh, I'm sorry. There's nobody back there. Jim, there's nothing for me to click on to add you. All it says it's there is Eric and Watt. That's weird. Try disconnect and come back in. And it's weird because it says M instead of Jim.
Uh-oh.
It's weird that he can. It's actually that is weird.
I don't know.
Better do a screenshot backstage.
Well, I can't even click on him in the backstage to do anything. He's in between.
He's in the Matrix.
Oh, there we go. Jim, there he is.
Okay.
That was weird.
Playing games again, huh, James?
I thought I'd have trouble getting here because the roads are covered with snow, but I didn't think that's happened before already on one-on-one show where I could hear him talking and I could write messages in private chat, but nobody could see me.
Yeah.
That is so strange.
Only half of you made it through the connection.
Is your laptop smoking or what?
What?
Is your laptop smoking?
No, I am. Hey, V Charming. This computer's so old. To Eric, this computer is 10 plus years old. We don't get any more Google Apple support from it.
No.
From Apple.
Yeah.
New one soon.
You don't even get support for Windows 10 anymore. They shut that down last year, I think it was.
Yeah,
I
Windows.
want everybody to go to 11. I'm like, nope. I wait until they figure out all the bugs and then I'll switch over. And I mean, 10's working, so why mess with something that's working? I remember, what was it? Windows 98. I stayed on Windows 98 for a good long while.
I forget what the last Windows that we had on the Intel computer was. Or was it a Gateway? What have you guys been talking about tonight, by the way?
Oh, what was the last thing we were talking about?
Lima beans.
Oh,
I'm not going to discuss food.
we started off with food.
Yeah.
Do you guys think Trump's going to disobey the judge? I think he's going to have to.
Which judge?
All 5 of them that are striking down everything he's doing, because they will. If they think he's violating the law, they'll send a criminal referral to Pam Bondi, and I don't think she's going to appoint a special counsel like Jeff Sessions did.
Yeah, I don't think, and that's the thing. It might be, to drag it out, drag it to where it's going to waste his 4 years like the last time.
Yep.
Imagine the stuff if you just leave him alone of what he could do. I mean, I'm not saying just let him have run of things, because nobody should have that. There
No.
should always be
Checks and
somebody.
balances.
Yeah, exactly. Which we should have had last year or last 4 years too,
Ugh,
sending all that
disaster.
money and stuff, because nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted all that money going over there. Even well, there were some brainwashed people. Oh, save the poor people over there. You know, what other country goes and helps everybody else and then lets their well, there are a few countries, but they don't go helping other people. They just get richer.
United States.
Well, yeah.
Ain't sure ain't us.
And we're still not united, unfortunately.
Oh no.
Maybe in 4 years or 8 years.
Yeah, I was watching a history of our statehood and stuff like that, and like Hawaii. You know the history of us acquiring Hawaii.
Yeah. And did we really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was mainly because of the sugar cane. Is why we wanted Hawaii.
One of the biggest blunders of Russia was Alaska.
Yeah, Seward's icebox.
Yeah.
Because I think Seward was Secretary of State when McKinley was president.
Yeah, they sold Alaska for pennies on the dollar.
I think the Marbury-Madison case is going to help Trump, because it's, even though the Supreme Court has authority over executive orders, there's 3 branches of government. Congress doesn't have authority over the U.S. Treasury or, Secretary of the Treasury or the Secretary of Defense.
Well, that's true, and neither does the judiciary. Shouldn't have.
Well, I was thinking, yeah. I was
that.
going. What happened? What happened there? It's pretty bad when the FBI is, well, allegedly, FBI is involved in,
Tippin Wolf.
Twitter and YouTube, and allegedly YouTube, those kind of things. So what they want out gets out, and what they don't want stays under a strike.
You figure we're still being censored, not just this channel, the American people, all because of these agencies. And I think the reporters hate Elon Musk having the sun there on his shoulders like that.
Oh, it doesn't. They'll think he wore a T-shirt. He wore a T-shirt. I remember when he got judged because he wore a T-shirt that didn't have any symbols or anything on it, and then he gets in trouble for waving. Oh, we'll freeze it. He's doing the German thing.
But yeah, there's pictures of Biden and Obama, the same thing. It's the camera angle.
Yeah, I don't know how they're anybody in the public. You have to go like wave with your fingers now, and they'll probably say you're flipping people off or something.
Yeah, his little boy's name is X.
It's crazy.
Cool.
Well, somebody could have misconstrued Bare Truth with the thing he had on his middle finger the other night on a 101 show.
Oh, I didn't see it.
No, we know that's Jeff. We know that.
I'm sorry, I didn't think he was going to go live.
If somebody broke their finger, the doctor would put a splint on it. And if it's
Allegedly.
watch out.
Why would you burn all your clothes?
I don't understand why shoes.
Unless they got, bugs or something in them.
Did you hear what they did in Philadelphia the night of the Super Bowl? Somebody hijacked a laundry truck and set a fire with all the clothing. I wonder.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
It was on TV. They
That
told,
does sound like something that would happen in Philly.
Yeah, it's a Philly thing.
Yeah.
Didn't they? Well,
They crashed the place during their last Super Bowl win. So that's,
yeah.
Win, lose, or draw, it's going to burn.
Well, the thing that gets me is, the people, and sorry, Jim, but
Yeah.
before a game, they go out and grease their poles.
Yeah.
yeah.
They have
Literally.
something with greased poles that.
well, a few people climbed up a pole and started taking the thing apart.
Oh, yeah. That'd take the whole pole down.
It's a wonder they didn't get electrocuted.
It was what that one Tennessee game. They took the fans took the whole goalpost down and threw it in the river. What do you think they did to
Oh,
a
yeah.
light pole?
Well, I seen a video, and I thought it was they were joking, and this guy's about 6 feet up in the air, and it looks like he's really getting into this pole, and he's trying to. and they're playing music to it, and I was just cracking up laughing. In this, they say only in Philly, and then they started popping up more like this, and then I guess it's a thing.
Philly mating call.
I wanted to address Ziggy's comment. Trump is doing this as a courtesy. Trump could do what Obama did. He recessed the Senate and just appointed people so they couldn't vote on his cabinet. Trump's doing this just to show to make it a dog and penny show, just to show the public how absurd the Democrats have become.
Oh,
You think there's a lot to talk about now. Wait till Cash gets confirmed. Then you got Pandora's box is going to be opened up.
Well, I think in March and April there's going to be a lot of stuff going on, good and bad.
We haven't even got a month in yet.
No, I know.
Nothing yet.
That's my point. It's you're all sitting on a powder keg, smoking like Tim.
I predict there's going to be big demonstrations on President's Day.
Well, we seen one today.
One today,
Wasn't very big, but
and they were all using the F word too.
they were very vocal.
The sitting congressman or senator
Yeah,
using that word in public.
yeah.
That's
And there was kids there.
kids. Yeah,
Yeah, that used to mean something.
yeah.
You could have a dirty mouth, but once a kid came by, you was just really nice words and everything. Nowadays, it doesn't matter.
When people curse in front of kids or even at their own kids, I lose respect for them.
Well,
Yeah.
kids curse too.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Nowadays, the little kids, and we see it funny though. We watch the videos of the cat attacking this little boy, and he keeps saying to the cat bad words, and everybody's cracking up laughing. And well, it kind of is funny, but then a couple years down the road, and then he's cussing out his teacher because he doesn't want to go in from recess or something, then it's not so funny.
And they learn this bad behavior from their parents. I don't remember my parents ever cursing ever when I was a kid, even if I did something naughty.
I don't know. I mean, I think it has a lot to do with it, but I don't like using that as an excuse for somebody turning out
Rotten. Yep.
Yeah, because that's God gave you free will, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen, because it does. You'll run into families where it's like one down the line and they're all bad.
It runs in the family then.
Yeah.
And I've never seen the shit show that we're seeing with these hearings. Anytime a Democrat was president and appointed members to his cabinet, the Republicans treated them with respect. All the Democrats have treated all of Trump's nominees with venom.
Except one, Marco. Marco cruised through like butter.
Yeah, because he was for amnesty. He was the Gang of Seven.
Oh, yeah, okay, I'll give you that. But also, he's the most
Oh,
qualified for
where'd
the
that
job.
come from? Thank you, B. I appreciate it.
Ooh,
That was nice.
That was
Nice,
weird.
B.
It actually popped up on my screen before it popped up on this.
I look at like this, Pat Evans.
Yeah,
About,
there you go.
quit picking sides, trust in Jesus. You know,
Yeah.
God's the one in charge of everything. Every leader was installed for a reason, including Biden and Obama and Bush and Clinton. A reason. Look at the things that happen in the world. All of us question, why does God let this happen? Why does that happen? It could take years to understand why, or you may never understand why.
You're not supposed to question.
Yep.
I mean, it's a human thing. You're going to anyway, but and I was reading a few days ago, and I came across something very interesting. And I can't remember where it was. It was just a flip through thing. To hate somebody is worse than actually deleting that person.
You're supposed to forgive.
Yeah, but that's on the line. That's on. They're pretty much saying that it's on the same level and sometimes worse than going out and doing it.
I don't hate anybody.
Same here. You have to forgive people.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people I dislike and actually I've met in my life, and if anything, I feel sorry for them.
Yeah.
Because it's not a sin to have sorrow in your heart.
Oh yeah, there's that stuff will eat at you, and then you can tell the people who don't let it go, how it turns them.
And the thing is, all of us question like things, people that you thought were your friend, then you see like they stab you in the back and make fun of you. The thing is, it's not good to dwell on it, but it's like I'm the kind of person I like to know why. I like to know how things work, cause and effect.
That's gonna happen in life. If it ain't happened to you, you just ain't been living long enough.
Mm-hmm.
Just like in your career, being an electrician, that's cause and effect with electricity.
Yeah, it's not if you get electrocuted.
Hopefully,
or shocked. Sorry, shocked.
Yeah, if the guy comes to your house and claims to be an electrician and he ain't never been shocked, then you might as well just tell him to go ahead and pack it on up.
Yeah.
Unless it's his first day on the job, still pack it on up.
Yeah, I get shocked really bad sometimes patting the dog on the wool rug.
See, there you go. You could be a good apprentice. We might have to hire you soon. Make sure I get your email.
The question is, who I think she minds it worse than I do.
It's even better. You got experience. You'd be surprised how many people come and go before you actually find one that'll stick around for a little while.
And those right there, this world makes you so angry. What is that? That's Satan getting his fingers in there. That's how he works, and that's that. And that, reading on that, and I wish I would have seen where that was, but the hate is the way for Satan to get in there and make it worse, and that's where it continues to grow and grow and grow.
Well, Satan amplifies it like amperage with current.
Mm-hmm.
You step up the amperage and you can get a really big shock.
But one thing about it, the devil's not going to come after you if you don't have anything to offer. A thief is not going to break into an empty house. You know,
Yeah,
you
I
have to
don't
have
know.
some. You have to have something of value for something to come after you. You know.
Unless he comes from a southern country. They've taken over quite a few homes.
And apartment complexes.
Yeah, yeah. I want to see this money that they're finding allegedly, of which we've all seen it. These high-rise, expensive motels or hotels that the illegals were granted. Um, the money involved in that. I want to see how much money that is.
Then you figure that's why Modelo beer was the number one selling beer in this country the past few years, because it was the number one beer ordered by the migrants in the hotels, motels, allegedly.
Oh, with their free money.
Yep. That'd be nice, getting free beer and free food. Then you look at all the people this country has living on the streets.
Yeah, and they're not happy unless they're trying to make somebody else feel that way.
I've met people, I have neighbors that they're not happy. It's almost like they thrive on misery. Like who wants to be miserable? Who wants to fight with all their neighbors?
If I was younger, I probably would be.
I think with age, okay, people say, the older you get, the more wisdom you have. I think the older you get, the more patience you have. Hopefully.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, I remember when I was in my bad stage in life, somebody just look at me, and that was it. just their look.
That's another good reason not to go into Philadelphia. Just you look at somebody, they could take it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, yeah, that's like a lot of things. One used to talk about his ghettos and things like that, and he said he wouldn't be caught dead down in there and whatnot. And it's you can tell the people who grew up that way can walk through there and nobody will touch them or say anything to them. A stranger goes through that hasn't been brought up that way, and everybody notices that person right off the bat because you can see it on them. It's because they have that fear. Oh, I'm in a bad place, and they're an outsider.
If you walk those lines, it's real easy to spot somebody who hasn't walked those lines or is out of place.
Yeah.
Just like whatever you may be expert in.
And every city has those places. I remember when I took my son to see the Phillies in 2009, we had to go on the Walden Bridge because, years ago we would go visit my wife's brother and her husband. I mean, and his wife in New Jersey and the kids. And when you go down towards the Walden Bridge, the road turns and you can see all these like 3-story brick houses with all the windows gone, boarded up. And those were all projects built during the Johnson administration. And what did the people do that lived in there? They basically just destroyed the homes. And they've been there for decades.
Yeah. I remember when I was in the one time I had a layover in New York City. There's places that I was supposed to stay out of, evidently. I walked the whole place because I couldn't sit there for a whole weekend, and because you weren't allowed to be at the bus stop unless you had a your time was coming up. If not, you had to get a motel or a hotel room. And they was just too expensive, so I just walked.
How long? How long were you walking?
3 days.
Really?
Yeah. And there were some parts that I walked over again that I had already been there, but where I had started, where I can't remember the street, but it was a high number where the bus stops was, or the bus depot or whatever it's called. That's where I started walking. And when I got down to the end of it, which was the bay or something over there, I went down another block and came back up until I got to the other end and just walked back and forth and just checking things out, and I stopped at a place to get pizza. And I think it was $1, $2 a slice or something, big old pizza on a paper plate and about 10 napkins because the grease went through the paper plate.
And they probably had plastic straws back then.
And the guy seen I was walking a certain way, and he said, "Don't go down that way." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "That's Harlem." Okay. Yeah. I thought it was just, a store or something. I didn't know what that meant. And he said, you shouldn't go down there. And I walked through there, didn't have any issues with nobody. And they said to stay out of that area, and didn't have any problem. I walked through every, what do they call them, boroughs. I walked through every one of them. I never had nobody come up to me, say bad stuff to me or anything. I mean, there was drunks trying to get money and stuff like that. People asking for money. But other than that, I didn't have any issues. And
what decade was this in?
Close to 90. I think it was 88, 89.
Well, I remember like R95, if you go through New York City, when my dad, well, actually my sister lived in Connecticut for a while. Anytime we went through on R95, you could still see, high-rise buildings with the same condition as the ones in Philly. The windows gone. I wonder if those buildings are still there.
I watched the cop shows and stuff. And that stuff has changed so much since I was there, because it was dirty. When I was there, the streets were extremely dirty, and there hardly any curbs left. They were all broke and paved over and stuff like that. And there was trash on the sides of the roads and everything. I mean, there's parts where you had to go out into the traffic and go around the trash.
Well, that's an issue in all these big cities. I've seen stories on the local news where the trash in Philly hadn't been picked up for like 2 weeks in the summer, and people are complaining about the stench of it. And what really kills me is if somebody puts a new housing development in, they have to have curbs along all the roads and sidewalks. But then in the cities, they just let everything fall apart.
Yeah. I mean, I had, other than, there was a couple places, there's a fountain, and you can see it from the road. And I actually slept on one of the benches because that about that time is when I got there at night, was at nighttime. It was probably about 2:00 in the morning, and there were still people out like all over the place.
What month of the year was this?
I'd probably say September-ish.
It wasn't too bad.
No, it wasn't. and I did all my belongings were in the bus waiting or whatever to be transferred to another bus. So all I had on me was my jacket, and that was it. And at that time, I had really long hair too. So
You talk about trash. They showed on Channel 6, all the local Philly stations after the people gathered, cheering the Eagles, the Super Bowl. The amount of trash just left on the streets by the people. People are just pigs. Every year after this tree business is over, I find, plastic containers in the field, coffee, any kind of drink you can think of. And it's not that hard just to put your used container in a trash can. But the people are just lazy, just littering.
yeah.
And I find beer cans and where my property meets the road, like when I'm mowing, every week there's new beer cans.
Oh, that's way when there's a windstorm. The way my garage is, and the way the thing is, I get so much trash that I have to pick up. Mary, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
That was also nice of her. Well, Bushcraft, I know that some of the people, it's repeat litterers, cans of Bush Light and Miller.
Mm.
It's always the same 2 or 3 beers.
Yeah, it's the cheap beer.
Well, save them up. You have your good about 5 years. You can get you about $20 worth.
You can't really get money for cans in Pennsylvania. You'd have to take because they recycle.
Well, isn't there do you have the 5-cent thing there?
We don't have that anymore. Connecticut still has that, I think.
Okay, so I know New York does.
5 cents for what, a can?
Yeah, 5 cents, and this was back then, so I don't know what it is now. Cans were 5 cents. 2-liter bottles, I'm thinking, was 10 cents.
Plastic ones?
Yeah, plastic.
Man.
Because I used to work at Grand Union outside of Poughkeepsie, and I was a nighttime stalker, and then I got a raise and went to daytimes where I was the bottle manager, the cannon bottle, which was cool to me. I had to keep the machines running because that's all it was. People come in and put their can in, and it would shred the cans, and it would shred the bottles and stuff like that. And if there was somebody didn't get paid or something, I had to go in there and read the log and all that fun stuff. And then I got moved to produce, which I love that. That was fun, going through all the produce and everything, putting it out there. And you'd be surprised how much food gets thrown away from the produce in a grocery store.
Speaking of that, there's a few places that do this in Pennsylvania where they take the food that's going bad from the grocery stores and they compost it.
That's what should be done.
Yeah.
I mean, you go, and there's so many vacant areas that, runs out taxes, and they, instead of letting them sit, put piles of this old food set out there and letting it decay, and then give it back to the farmers instead of having them use pre-made stuff.
It's organic matter, and the soils need organic matter.
Yeah.
Because all the whole Midwest is being destroyed with this corn for ethanol. You figure over a decade, it's like taking a fraction of an inch of, It's not just erosion. There's no-till farming. They're taking about a half a ton, maybe a little bit more than that, close to 3/4 of a ton of minerals off the soil. In about a decade, they're losing almost an inch of topsoil.
Yeah,
And just adding, chemical fertilizer isn't the answer.
I think it's Indiana Backyard Gardener that they have where they it's probably a power line or something like that. They chip up all the branches and everything, and they dump it in these areas and just let it sit, and then people come and scoop up what they want when it breaks down and everything. And I think that's wonderful. That's so many. There should be so many programs for that. I mean, what does it cost? That's something that they get paid to clear power lines and the sides of the roads and stuff, instead of dumping it in a field for nobody to ever use it again. Find a place to line it up for people to use in their gardens and stuff.
Because some townships, they have drop-offs where people take their leaves. Then other people take the leaves back and they bring it home and put it in their garden.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you one thing, a few years ago, I let these landscapers dump leaves here. I'll never do it again. You know why? There was so much trash in the leaves from people's yards. If somebody has trash in their yard, you think they would pick it up, right? I would. I do. I got these big box trucks that have leaves. They can hold 15 cubic yards of leaves. I even wrote down on a piece of paper how to talk to the guys in Spanish because none of them spoke English very well. And then when I started moving these leaves, I spent more time picking trash out than about as much time as I did picking trash out as I did moving the leaves with a pitchfork.
Yeah.
That's why I'm just so disgusted with people that litter.
Oh yeah.
Because manure, you don't get trash from it. Well, some of the guys' customers throw junk in there, but it's not as bad.
Yeah. My son likes to walk, so when he's out, he sees trash, he'll pick it up, and he's come home with a bag of trash before, and I said, "Take it out back. I don't want that in the house."
You got to be careful burning leaves. That's what a lot of these landscapers do now because they can't find people that want them.
Well, when I had my when I lived out in the country, I didn't have much land or anything, but I would dig a trench and I would put all my leaves in it, and then I would cover it over with soil. And then 2 years or a year down the road, I would dig that up again and put that in my garden because it would all break down and everything. That's some of the best additive for your garden, especially from in the wooded areas and stuff, those leaves.
Because if you let a pile of leaves sit long enough, you'll see smoke coming off of it like manure.
Oh yeah.
Because it's decomposing.
I still get a bunch of views off of that video where I sped it up, like, because usually you can actually use that method where you dig a trench and bury the leaves, but that takes a while. So I put a bunch of leaves in a trash can and used the weed eater and chopped it up really fine, and then put it in a black garbage bag and sprinkled water on it and closed it up. In 6 months, you got great stuff for the garden. It cuts the time down pretty good.
Yeah.
One thing I learned this year from the drought, when the manure guy brought manure, his container holds 22 cubic yards, and this stuff was almost completely bone dry, and the truck has a scale on it. And 22 cubic yards of manure dry weight was just about 11.5 tons. Now, if he brings that stuff when it's wet, he can't even fill the truck up all the way. Because if we have a lot of rain, you could have 11 cubic yards of nowhere weigh almost 20 tons.
Oh yeah, you get paying for water weight.
Yeah. Because there's times he's come here when it was wet and there's this liquid dripping out of the back of the truck.
Nice. A little extra something for your troubles.
Well, he's already gotten stopped and weighed by the state police, even though he can show him the weight on his dashboard.
I mean, what do you do about something like that? You know, what if you come through a rainstorm on the way? You know, what happens?
Well, he has to have a tarp over them to nowhere too.
Okay. That makes sense. If it's something's covering you.
What do you guys think's going to happen Saturday?
Oh, it's going down.
Well, I think that's the deadline, isn't it?
Yeah, but
For the hostages.
That's right. I don't think the hostages are alive.
Oh yeah, I'm still surprised there's that many that were
Where
alive.
are these hostages at? Did they like say a specific place or country?
Well, they're the hostages that were taken on the
October 7th.
October 7th of
Probably in tunnels.
yeah.
Oh, last year?
The year before.
In
Or
2020.
no, yeah, the year before. Yeah,
No,
last year was a year. So it's been a year and
It was 2023.
5 months.
What's the report on how many it's supposed to be? Does anybody know?
Let me see what the
That's a long time.
there's 76 hostages still unaccounted for. Which, like I said, I don't think there is 76 left.
What are they demanding?
Then you got to remember what happened. What happens to people that are kidnapped? Just like Patty Hearst, these people, the longer they're being detained, they get brainwashed. Because then Patty Hearst, there was a big to-do with that Symbionese Liberation Army, where it got to the point where she was committing robberies with them. And when she got rescued, she was sticking up for them, and she actually was prosecuted and convicted.
Yeah.
The longer there were 3 Israeli women released talking about how good they were taken care of. I'm thinking there's no way they were treated very nicely.
Yeah. And yes, those are the ones, Gaza hostages.
And speaking of the Middle East, what do you think who's going to take in these Palestinians? The king of, not the king, the leader of the president of Egypt now canceled his meeting with Trump. And
What were they supposed to discuss?
Taking the Palestinians, and the king or prince, whoever it was of Jordan, said they're only going to take 2,000, and they're going to be the children that are dying of cancer that need medical treatment.
It's insane.
You figure they originally came from the Arab countries. Some people, because I've done enough research, they're not. I always thought they were the descendants of the Philistines, but they're not. The Philistines came from Greece. Basically, the Palestinians were kicked out of Egypt because they're Arab. They're not Persian. They were kicked out of Saudi Arabia and Egypt. They were criminals, and they just wandered around for hundreds of years.
Yeah, there was. I can't say his name, but one of them was found today that was supposed to. He's on that list of hostages, and they found out that he was deleted on the 7th, and they just finding his remains or his body or whatever it was.
You figure the Hamas is saying that Israel violated the ceasefire. And every time in our lifetime there's been a ceasefire, it's always been Hamas that's violated it, allegedly. But we're not, none of us are there. You know, this is all hearsay, the news.
Yeah.
And anybody that watches the mainstream media, CNN, MSNBC, the other three major networks, they're trying to make everybody feel sorry for the Palestinians.
Oh, yeah. That's why there's, the college kids and stuff are wearing the little headbands and stuff. And there's a reason why that headgear was popular for those types of people. It's because they didn't want their identity out because they were doing bad things.
Mm-hmm.
And what do the college kids do? They put this on like it's a headgear or something, a passage of right or something, but it's a bad thing.
And then I read today that allegedly the Iranian government refuses to talk to Trump or have any negotiations over anything. I think things are going to heat up over there big time soon.
Yeah, Trump says, let all hell break out if all hostages aren't released Saturday. And they're not. So
It wouldn't surprise me if Iran launches another major assault against Israel.
that would be so dumb. It really would.
Then if anybody would take out the nuclear facilities in Iran, they could have a very large radiated area that nobody could live in.
Yeah.
Then you figure you got a small percentage of the Iranian people that have a high standard of living like we do in this country, but it's few and far between.
Yeah, didn't Russia release somebody today?
Yeah, yep, that guy had medical marijuana, and Joe Biden never got him released. He, I think he was a teacher, I forget, but he was sentenced to 14 years in jail. Trump was asked what he had to do to release him, and he didn't divulge it.
Yeah. Well, we all know who he got released and what the price was.
Yep.
Somebody that's they've deleted a lot of people and involved in deleting a lot of people. But we got a basketball player back.
Yeah.
And she or
He or
yeah, whatever the case may be, but
Hey, guess where she plays at now?
stands up and pledges allegiance now.
I officially unfriend you for that one. But on a serious note, she plays for the Atlanta team now.
Yeah,
That's funny.
didn't she used to stand up when she took a pee years ago?
Say that again.
I don't even want to.
Yeah, I try not to go down that deep of a depth.
I didn't understand the question, but okay.
You don't. Yes. If you do, then it's
No, that's all right. We can move on.
senior facts.
No food talk. Now, I wonder what the Palestinians are eating over there. They say there's a big food shortage.
They have plenty of condoms.
But they don't have much food or water.
Shit, heck, we got people hijacking egg trucks over here, so
Yeah.
If they dehydrated, they may not really need the condoms.
I mean, these people was out there hijacking Mountain Dew and egg trucks. I don't know what's happening. I was scared to even walk past the eggs the other day. I didn't think somebody they might have thought I was a millionaire or something.
Oh, wow, you bought eggs? Did you get a raise?
Oh,
I haven't had an egg in years.
I asked my wife to look for some iced tea on sale at the store. And I couldn't believe she told me the regular price for Lipton 2-liter bottle now is $4.25 or $4.29.
How big a bottle is that?
2-liter. That's just like 67.6 ounces, I think, or 67.
No, they make 2 liters of tea.
Yeah, Lipton tea. Because I said, get it for on sale. She said 2 for $4. I said, that's way too expensive. She said,
I used to like getting the gallon jugs of it was a green tea until they changed the ingredients and put some stuff in there that I didn't want to drink.
Yeah.
and I never liked the Turkey Hill iced tea at all. I like the Nestea of Lipton.
I like
I drink
Arizona.
Turkey Hill.
Arizona used to be good until they put stuff in there you shouldn't be drinking.
Well, I did. Okay, Turkey Hill makes ice cream. It's the #1 sold brand in Pennsylvania, and I've never cared for it because it's too soft. It doesn't get real hard. It melts too quickly. I prefer the Blue Bunny ice cream or the
soft serve.
But real ice cream isn't supposed to be that soft. Well, I said I wasn't going to talk about food.
Well, have you tried to catch it on fire?
No, I'm not going to try to burn the ice cream.
No, I'm serious. And sorry for people who go to McDonald's or you know the ice cream sandwiches. You know you can leave that ice cream sandwich out for 2 days and it will not melt.
Of course, you would say that. The random time I just had an ice cream sandwich, literally a couple of days ago.
I don't like ice cream sandwiches anymore. They're not as good as they used to be.
There's no ice cream in it. I don't know what that stuff is, but you can see videos of people burning it and black smoke just go burling out of it. I'm like, what is it?
They could use that at the Vatican when they have to choose a new pope for the black smoke.
That's my new thing. If I decide to think about I want to try something random where I haven't tried in a while, don't do it. Because every time I do randomly, I always hear something like this. You know what I mean?
Well, wait for this stream to come on, Watt, and then after it's over, then
It was the boiled heads. Now it's the ice cream sandwiches. I just randomly had one the other day.
The drumsticks too.
I used to love those. Just the
They're
basic
so
ones.
small now. They're like little bitty things.
Yeah.
Chopsticks.
Well, the reason Blue Bunny is so good is it's the only company I know of where they put the ice cream in a plastic container so it doesn't get freezer burn.
It's actual bunny.
Oh yeah, Sun Tea's the best.
Yes.
Of course, I have to wait until July to make it. If I put it out now, it'll be frozen till May.
I wish we had a Kroger around here. I've never been to one.
They just built another one not too far from me. The big Kroger's just got it's almost like a Walmart. They've got clothes and other stuff in there. I walked around in there for about 30 minutes and it was only about half of the store. And I said, all right, I got to get out of here. It's just too much.
Yeah, somebody just asked me why I don't do the recalls anymore. I don't think people. Well, there's people that care, but I don't think there's enough people who care about the recalls. It's like, oh, okay, another one.
I enjoy them, but like anybody, you can put doing a couple videos like that out a day.
Yeah,
short videos.
Yeah.
The way this country is going, there could be a total recall on all the food.
Frozen yogurt recalled in Canada because uncleared egg. Top Glaciers Incorporated.
Didn't they just have a baby diaper recall?
Yeah.
Why would they have a baby diaper recall?
Lucky it wasn't the adult diapers. You know what I mean?
I don't know. It depends.
It definitely depends.
It depends.
Um,
Perfect.
I didn't look into it as to why, what caused it. It popped up on the thing.
Ooh.
It always sends me to updates on stuff that I don't buy, you know, except for the boar's head and ice cream sandwiches.
I wonder how many people eat an ice cream sandwich for their lunch.
I don't think they're going to be doing that much anymore.
I'll never eat one again unless I make it.
Well, you go to the store, like a Circle K or 7-Eleven, just buy one and then see if you put it on your counter, leave it in the package and everything, and just let it sit there and see if the next morning you got a big old mess sitting by it, or is it's still together. It'll be squishy.
It's going to look like Elmer's glue.
But and I only found this out because we left some out, and I'm like, these look like they're fine. We could probably refreeze them. You never know.
I wonder if the Twinkies will catch on fire.
Oh yeah, they do.
Do they?
They have for a while though. The same thing with corn chips.
Corn chips, Doritos.
Corn chips are good fire starter.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else you gonna do with them? It's like 20, 30 different flavors of Doritos now. I went down to Chip Out the other day. I was like, this is too many options. There's somebody that just came in here and they've ate every flavor of these Doritos.
Oh yeah, there's the Food Safety Summit. That's going to be interesting.
When is that?
May 12th through the 15th. There's some very big wigs going to that. That's going to be the food people I'm talking about.
Is this like a New York capacity thing or like a government thing?
They're supposed to be government people, but I don't know now if those people still have jobs. So I don't know how that's going to work. So I talked about it, a while back, of some of the people that were going. These were people that wanted to put some juice things in our food.
Where is this taking place?
I don't know if it's still in New York or not.
Oh yeah, probably. They never call the bluff on New York.
Trader Joe tuna is recalled from Costco, Trader Joe.
Yeah, I just seen the tuna.
Yeah.
I just bought some tuna too. Well, I always eat tuna. I like it, but
and guess what it is? Botulism. And they're trying to get rid of people canning because they say there's an overabundance of botulism, allegedly.
Yeah. Allegedly,
and the botulism isn't coming from people who can. It's coming from our food that is canned. There's more cases of that than there is from people who can.
Do you think there's really botulism in those cans, or just saying it?
Oh, it is.
I'm glad I haven't bought any from Walmart in a while, canned tuna.
I don't know if you could talk about it. I'm not really familiar. I've always heard the term, but what would happen to somebody if they ate it and they had the botulism?
You can die from it. Of course, you can get sick from anything, and you know.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I made OD on cheesecake one day. Who knows?
You know, you flow from both ends, and it's not good. But
sitting on the toilet and having a bucket in front of you too.
I got you.
Yeah, sometimes you get that sick.
I got a question for What Life. Have you ever had the taco flavor of Doritos? That was the big flavor when I was a kid, and then they discontinued it.
They did, and then it was some years back. I think they still got it. They brought it back. and I bought a little small bag and tried it, but I wasn't really a big fan. Of course, it wouldn't have been the same flavor you would remember it as anyway. You know, they changed it up.
Yeah.
They change the flavors on everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and there's a big talk about, and I'm sure if RFK gets into this, he's going to get the toxic baby food thing going around.
Wow.
I hope he gets involved with the pet food. Over the years, I've looked at the dog biscuits. You can't find a brand of dog biscuits that doesn't have some kind of red or yellow dye in it.
Well, I'm hoping he takes care of our food first.
Well, I agree, but something has to be done for pet food safety.
Oh yeah.
$12.50 for a box of Girl Scout cookies. Wow.
I remember when they used to be $2.
Are you serious, B?
That is
Or
Wow.
Grace? 88% in wow.
What are they putting in them? Rifled slugs made out of lead or something for?
I haven't had those things in years. I know it's that season though. I seen them selling them the other day. I didn't notice the price though.
There's no way I would pay that much for cookies.
Well, you don't. I pick my words. You're sporting the Girl Scouts is what you're supposed to be doing. Let's see.
At the point you don't even know if they're really girls.
I've seen a few people setting up, but I hadn't seen as much. Usually I see a lot more people selling them. Usually I see them about at every grocery store sometimes.
And Grace, I read an article a few years ago. There's a small amount of antifreeze allegedly in certain brands of canned dog food. It's a preservative. The old antifreeze, not the red kind, the green kind.
Any kind shouldn't be in there.
Pesto, again from Canada, is being recalled. They put nuts in their milk, evidently. Oh God, that didn't sound good. There's, Brazilian nuts and pine nuts in the milk.
I hope there's no recall on cashews or peanuts.
What type of milk is this now?
It's pesto.
Oh, pesto.
Evidently, they use milk for pesto for this.
Why would you put milk in pesto?
I don't know.
Man, I like pesto.
Undeclared Brazilian nuts, milk, and pine nuts.
Like pesto pasta.
I could understand the pine nuts, but I don't know about the milk part. That's just weird. But heck, those things are too expensive. Get my own pine nuts.
New Jersey company.
That figures.
Tahini paste.
Oh, what is that?
After state testing shows salmonella.
Tahini paste. What is that used for?
For tahinis.
Tahini. It sounds familiar, but I don't know what it is.
It wouldn't surprise me if they put human milk in some of this food.
It was actually the test was done in Ohio.
Oh, I can't be. Oh man!
And there was 858 cases of it. I'm going to do a search real quick because I'm kind of curious now.
That's a lot.
The question: where does one find in a grocery store? The sauce has a rich, nutty flavor that comes from ground sesame seeds. Its taste is often described as slightly bitter, creamy, and earthy, with smooth texture.
Okay, so it's not so much like a milk like I was thinking then.
A really thick milk because it looks like a runny peanut butter. Ingredients is lemon juice, garlic, or olive oil. Can take on a tangy or savory profile.
What
I
made
guess
you pull up this particular recipe?
it's a healthy peanut butter.
Huh.
Okay.
Do you think Jeff or Skippy or Peanut Pan are healthy peanut butters?
It depends.
I think the healthiest is the stuff they grind right at the grocery store and put it out.
Actually, if you're saving peanut butter, you want that the not healthy ones because it's got all the preservatives and stuff. It'll last longer. The healthy ones that are just ground up peanuts, the oil in it goes rancid faster.
Have you ever tried to make peanut butter yourself? Your
Yeah,
own?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I did as a kid.
I had a
Peanut and
job
butter.
as a. You ever go to a state fair and you see these guys up there making food and stuff in the little contraptions
Yeah.
that you sell? Some of them do the knives and stuff. Well, it was a little blender thing that was a fad many years ago, and I was up there with the microphone and doing the demonstrations and stuff. And I had to make peanut butter. And I mean, it wasn't too bad.
Hummus. Okay, yeah, I know what that is. Yeah. I like hummus.
There's probably something bad with barbecue sauce too.
Oh yeah, you don't even
Nowadays,
get started on that.
it's not you. Well, you have to read the label. You don't want the corn syrup stuff in there. Now the raw milk thing, I don't usually repeat because I don't think that's.
Yeah.
I think that's Big Brother trying to deter people from drinking it. Almost 10 or 9 tons of sausage recalled after consumers finds foreign materials in their sausage.
What brand is that? Does it say?
DJ's Bowden's
Oh, I've never bought that.
LLC of Piedmont, Texas.
Uh-oh. Watch out, Bonnie. They come up for your sausages.
Watch out for your sausages down there.
Man.
I don't know what it depends what kind of foreign materials it is.
Did you hear about the crawfish in Texas, in South Texas?
Yeah.
They found an invasive species from Australia out there. So wow.
It probably came from China.
Nah, it's them little shrimps that breed with the crawdads.
Yeah. It was a Philly, Florida connection for sure.
Abilene breed.
We figured the stink bugs came from China. The lantern flies came from China. Have you guys seen many lantern flies in your parts of the country ever?
Dang,
What is a lantern fly?
17,000 pounds.
They're a fly where the wings have red and black on them.
Is that the ones you see light up at night?
They don't know that. That's lightning bug.
Okay, lightning bugs. I was supposed to say. Maybe we called it something different.
There was a big to-do in Pennsylvania a few years back where every homeowner had to eradicate them, and every property owner. And they spent millions of dollars trying to figure out a way to get rid of them. And what happened, last year I only saw 1 or 2. I remember 5 or 6 years ago, I could go to the gas station to get fuel oil, diesel for the tractor. And I would have to, they'd be like landing on my shirts all over the place. And Mother Nature took care of them.
There you go, Bonnie. That's the sausage company there.
What harm did he cause any harm or damage?
They bothered certain types of hardwood trays. They would lay eggs on trays and it would look like dirt from a mud wasp.
Oh, like a dirt dauber.
Yeah, the thing is, they
Ooh.
didn't put any of the kind of trees I grow.
Well, does anybody like eating those chocolate pretzels and stuff?
I was never a big fan of the chocolate
This
pretzel.
is Aspen Fest.
Oh no.
Um,
For a while.
pretzels recalled due to health risks from foreign substance. Criminal complaint filed.
Man,
Wow.
it's just getting serious
So-
with the pretzels.
When there's a criminal complaint filed, that either means somebody relieved themselves, or there's
Yeah.
multiple ways of relieving themselves, but
They definitely got
somebody did
relieved.
something into the food.
Right.
That's usually what the criminal allegedly.
Somebody could spit in the milk, urinate in it.
Well, I was trying to keep
Yeah.
that out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Allegedly.
Here we have Gerber recalls teething sticks after consumer complaints of choking.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
You never know what's in canned gravy, I guess, either.
Oh, I don't
Well,
even believe in
here's
it.
another Canadian one.
Uh-oh.
E. coli. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency has recalled certain products of Morbier cheese in British Columbia because of pathogen E. coli contamination.
Mm.
There was a big stink around here. There's a farm. They're still in business where the kid got E. coli from the petting zoo from touching the livestock.
Well, that makes sense because, they sometimes, especially if it's a goat, male goats, they actually pee on themselves to make them. That's their breeding thing.
Well,
I
it's just
don't know what it does to them, but
well, it's just like the deer. The bucks pee on trees after they rub their antlers on them.
yeah. Well, the goats will actually stick their head down there and spray all over their face. So it's a little bit more than to spray it on a tree.
Yeah.
Then we got the Coca-Cola. Sprite is actually on that too, and apple juice from Coca-Cola.
There's a recall of 2-liter bottles of Coke.
Oh. What brand apple juice are they affiliated with?
I think it's Minute Maid.
Oh, good, yeah.
I never.
This is UK too, I do believe. I don't know if it's over here.
Poor Watt. He's just sitting there with a pen.
What not to buy?
Right down.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, apple juice is big with little
I do
kids.
enjoy apple juice from time to time, though.
Oh yeah.
Oh, here's a cat. Oh no. Blue Ridge beef. Anybody feed that to their dogs?
No.
Almost 3 tons of pet food recalled after state test shows salmonella contamination. Blue Ridge beef.
I know the brand, yeah.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a top brand, what they say, but
They're
I don't know.
2-pound log natural mix because of contamination.
2
Oh, is
pounds.
that one that's in the refrigerator?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It looks like ground beef.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't mistake that.
And you're not supposed to call it dog food. I've seen commercials for products like that.
Yeah, pet food.
Yeah, it's offensive. You can't say that.
Yeah. Well, nowadays we have litter boxes in bathrooms. So.
Except Twisted Bulldogs, but that's spelled different.
Heineken recalled. Risk of glass fragments.
Oh, man.
And you're okay, Jim, unless you're getting it from the UK. It's there.
I haven't had Heineken in about a year.
Newcastle Brown Ale.
Eric likes Heineken, he said.
Yeah, don't be buying none of that UK undermarket Heineken.
I do, but I haven't had any in a while. So
Man,
Frozen desserts recalled in Canada because of some. That's their thing up there.
Hmm.
Well, we don't have to worry about it. They're not going to sell us anything anymore anyway.
I don't want the salmonella.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Wegmans recalled chicken nuggets.
There better not be a recall on tater tots from Alley because my wife got some last
Oh,
week.
that's the next bro.
Yep.
No, just joking.
She hasn't bought tater tots in years.
There's more to need tahini is
After a
recalled
while, you get tired of potatoes.
in Canada again.
That's what happens to me. I just go out one day and buy that one random thing just to give it another shot, and then bloom you out.
California orders recall of rotten. Yeah, not talking about that because I think it's a gimmick.
Hey, Monty.
Mr. Bing sriracha chili sauce.
Ooh.
If anybody hears anything, let me know and I'll go back to it. Or I'll drop a link if you
That
need to
chili
know
sauce
more.
didn't sound good.
I like
Spinach
chili oil.
artichoke dip mix recalled in Wisconsin.
Hey, that's close. That sounds like something I'd buy.
I don't remember all this food being recalled when I was a kid.
Del Monte? I don't think I said any Del Monte.
I don't think so.
I was saying hi to the full Monties in chat.
Oh. I thought you said Del Monte.
Oh, that's better. That's the full
I'm
Monty.
like, I don't see any Del Monte yet.
He's wanting a Baja Blast.
I don't have that hooked up anymore. Various brands of eggs recalled in Canada.
Oh.
And again, Canada salmonella outbreak sickens 61 in. I'm not sure what that is. What is
I think
that?
everything you've labeled from there has had that.
Mini pastries.
Yeah, I don't believe in that. Can't have a
I remember the Cottonmouth incident.
Oh, yeah.
Don't say ranch style beans or A1 sauce. Oh no. This is in Austria though. Austrian cheese.
A1, that's self recall. That's total recall, really.
You know, I went to and this was in Texas, I do believe.
Oh.
It was a barbecue place. I wasn't the one that did it, but somebody asked for A1 to put on their steak, and they told them to get up and get out of their restaurant.
Yeah. It's a good policy.
Just get Worcestershire sauce.
Or you say that, and then the whole restaurant just gets quiet and looks at you, you know? Oh, man.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, no. They still have this on their shelves. And I seen it, and we were going to get some of these, but they're too expensive. Frozen taquitos. Products recalled from Aldi store because of metal pieces.
God, man.
A little iron doesn't hurt.
Yeah, but you know, you're going to find that in all foods.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
you're actually allowed.
Right.
Allowed so much.
Bush is just reading off probably 1/100% of.
Oh yeah,
actually gets past everything, and
they have to have. I think it's a 24% report. People have to report in 24% of the run they just put out in order for the EPA police or whatever they call them now to go investigate it. And then they put it on a list.
Yeah. It's just when they say, if they might say, recall for possible metal shards or something. Like, oh man, metal shards, man.
Yeah. You know the little, I think they're called bonbons or something, the chocolate covered ice creams.
Yeah.
Um, I used to do the packaging for those. I was a line operator, and they run through a metal detector, and that goes off all the time. But as long as it's not a certain percentage of metal, it's okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's the same thing for you know the Walmart places that have them big old tubes of. I'm gonna get everybody sick. I'm gonna have so many people unsubscribing from my channel after today. The big tubes at Walmart, they're allowed so much
Byproduct.
cow patties within those, and how they figure out the percentage, I don't know, but yeah,
You talking about the meat, the hamburger meat that comes in the tube?
yeah, the hamburger tubes.
Man, yeah, I don't buy the tube meat
Because all the scraps and everything get put and they're in these big old bins. That's why it's so dangerous to get that meat, because one sick cow can taint thousands and thousands of tons of ground beef, because they're run through the same machine and to ground up all that stuff, and they put them in these big tubs that they push into each room, and they dump it in, and they squeeze it in these tubes.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that you can't see it.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of recall on ammunition?
Yes.
Yeah,
Really?
a few
I
times.
just had one.
What was the problem with it?
It was a quote unquote government overrun LE
Oh,
ammo that was plus P rated. And apparently the plus P was a little more plus than it should have been.
yeah, that's it's you. They usually don't recall for under. It's usually over.
No, it's over.
What's the
Only
P?
the only bad thing about under, if it's way too under, you could get a squib or something like that, and then
It doesn't go anywhere.
well, no, but the next round does, and it blows your hand off. So
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't buy from that company anymore after that.
I'm surprised Joe Biden didn't recall all the ammo in this country, saying it could kill somebody.
They're also the same for cat food. The Blue Ridge beef is recalling 1,350 pounds of kitty mix because of salmonella. Where is that company? Oh, it's from Massachusetts.
Never heard of that one. I've heard of
Massachusetts.
Never heard of it.
The Blue Ridge beef.
No. Okay.
Oh, here's some ground beef. USDA issued a public health alert for ground beef after consumer complaint of hard plastic and metal products. Turner Farm frozen raw ground beef products. And it doesn't say where they're from. So if you have Turner Farm Frozens, be careful eating that stuff.
Yeah.
And cheddar cheese recalled because of listeria. It's Abbey, and it's New Jersey. Abbey Specialty Foods of Fairfield, New Jersey.
Jersey again.
Yeah, it's Wicklow Gold Cheddar Cheese. Uh-oh. Broccoli, but I think everybody's already heard this one before because it's been spammed everywhere. Walmart market side broccoli florets, listeria.
Yeah, we once in a while you'll get a run of listeria down here on the pre-bagged lettuce.
Yeah.
You know, like the kits. It's got everything in the bag for. But that's why I wash everything. So
Washington State recalls oysters because of link to, and I can't even say this because it's nor bad stuff, noro bad stuff.
hmm
Um, it's a sickness that's going around.
Huh. What is that from? What product is that from?
Oysters. Uh, fresh oysters harvested by Bruco's shellfish.
Huh.
Yeah, that's again, that's the same one. Taylor. Oh, this is a different one from Canada. Taylor shellfish. I didn't know they carried that bug. Various cheese recalled in Canada because E. coli. Well, at least it's not salmonella this time.
Yeah.
I don't, and I've every time I've done this, I haven't. I'm wondering why has Canada had so many recalls lately in the last couple years, and is that stuff that just coming over here, or is there any Canadian people in here that has seen a lot of that in Canada lately? Oh, yeah, this was last year or December. House cat that died after eating raw food contaminated with the bird thingy.
Yeah, I wouldn't give my dog any kind of raw meat.
Well, I would if I knew where the meat came from. That's just like used to be, and I grew up this way. You know, Dad's making chili or something, grab a hunk of ground beef and put salt on it and eat it raw. I would never do that nowadays. Is a lot different than nowadays. Or, you know, going in and getting a steak at a steakhouse and getting it rare. Even though that's how I like steak, I wouldn't do that nowadays because of you usually get sick.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
What you want? Until he's feeling better. Say hi, everybody. Look this
That's the cat that wasn't eating too well.
Yeah, he's doing good now, huh?
Hello, mate.
Today's his first day he ate his whole bowl of food in one setting because he's been eating it, but walks away and then comes back.
Yeah, when a pet doesn't want to eat right, you know there's a problem.
Yeah. Impossible ground sausages recalled because of pieces of metal in product. Well, at least there's no meat in it. And I wouldn't eat that stuff anyway because that's one of the most unhealthiest fake meat products there is. And it's
What sausage?
Impossible spicy ground sausage.
Oh, yeah. It's impossible to think that I would eat it.
What about Italian sausage? Same difference or?
No, this is impossible.
Okay.
Impossible
Artificial.
is that fake meat. It's
Okay.
it's it's supposed to be vegetarian, but there's things in there that it's not even vegetables. Yeah, over 2 million cans of coconut water recalled due to seal compromise concerns.
Oh man.
I didn't even know there was such a thing as coconut water. I know there's coconut milk.
Oh,
Really?
coconut water is awesome.
Oh yeah.
I think we're getting to the we're into December now. There's mushrooms being recalled from Canada again. Pizza recalled because of plastic in product. Connie's frozen pizza.
Man.
And that's in Minnesota and Wisconsin. Apricot kernels recalled in Canada because of cyanide poisoning.
You know what you don't see anymore? Well, I used to drink a lot of it when I was a teenager, and
That's it.
Even 30 years ago. Apricot nectar. It came in like a 46 or 48 ounce can. You don't see that.
You got to look in the Mexican supply part.
And the price of that stuff is like 10 times what it was decades ago.
Yeah.
And it only comes in little containers. My wife got me at grocery outlet some apricot nectar, and it tasted like it was all watered down. It was only a little container.
Sandy, it makes you run fast? You get good exercise that way.
Yeah.
I guess Grace liked apricot nectar too.
Yeah, I like the papaya and the mango one. There's all kinds of good ones.
Some good ones, yeah.
If you can find them. Especially our Walmart, they keep moving them. They put them in the juice aisle, and then they put them by the Mexican food section, and then they put them in with the Chinese section. I don't think they know where they.
Let's put them with the drink section. Everybody knows where they are.
Yeah, I used to like it was the peanut. It was kind of the peanut. It's like a ramen, but not a ramen. It's a better. I'm trying to think of the name of this. I think it's Thai food, but
was it a dish?
Yeah, it's you just put hot water in it until it cooks noodles, and then you put all the flavoring in it. It's one of the. It's not ramen because the noodles are already cooked. They're just sealed in a bag, and you're just warming it up basically. And it has peanuts in there, and I think it's peanut Thai, something like that. And you can't find it anymore.
Well, just as cheap brands of noodles like the Nissan that you can get at the Dollar General or the Marucan or whatever, they used to be like 20 cents. You go to the grocery store now, they're like 40 cents, and they're not even the healthiest noodle. I started bringing those noodles when I used to backpack because it was something, you could cook and not make a mess in the mini stove.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think in the last 10 years they've replaced some of the ingredients in it that is really bad. They were supposed to get rid of it. I don't know if they did after 2020 or not. It's one of those ingredients that got banned.
You figure you go to a whole food place and some of that stuff isn't as natural as people think, allegedly. But you look at the price of the natural food compared to the stuff in the grocery store, it's cheaper just to put chemicals in the food.
Oh yeah, it is. That's why grow something and wait for it to produce something when you can make it in a test tube.
Well, I think in March, like the middle of March, I'm going to start germinating my tomato plants and use grow lights. Just takes one.
Yeah.
And that's why I have grow lights, not for other plants, just for veggies.
Sure. We seen the
Allegedly.
smoke earlier.
I already saw the smoke.
You
No, I
blamed it on your computer smoking.
Came right through the screen.
That was homemade. That was tobacco, allegedly.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
Anyways, maybe we'll see a recall on freshly pumped lesbian breast milk.
What? Holy cow. What are you saying? Oh,
There's,
Yeah.
there's,
I mean,
I think there's a market for that.
oh my.
it could be.
I don't want to see who buys it
Allegedly.
or who sells it.
That's just like, wow.
I felt like saying that. I hope you don't get a strike for me saying that, but
I remember what's that? I don't want to say the movie in case it's interpreted that I'm saying a cuss word, but where the dude says,
Oh
that
yeah, the Ben Stiller movie.
yeah, he would milk the cat's teats.
Yeah. Oh. How do you even think of something that wild, you know?
Oh, I don't.
I'm still trying to figure out what Chip said.
I was reading
Where do you-
somewhere.
Where do you come up with this shit from?
I forget where I read it a year ago. There's men that want that.
Now you're going even farther. Holy crap! I'm sorry.
Well, Jim, I heard they're looking for milkers.
Yep.
Wow.
I wouldn't drink that for any amount of money on the planet. There's a lot of sick people out there, though.
You think? Wow.
Obviously, they think that'll make them better.
Well, people that recycle their urine and drink it. There was a woman that had a YouTube channel talking about how it's made her healthier. I'm thinking, you're out of your mind.
Yeah. Just a second.
This channel, Bushcraft Family, cannot and does not contain medical/health advice. The medical/health information is provided for general informational and educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional advice. Accordingly, before taking any actions based upon such information, we encourage you to consult with the appropriate professionals. We do not provide any kind of medical/health advice. The use or reliance of any information contained on the site or our mobile application is solely at your own risk.
Please verify you are a human. I'll wait.
Okay, what do they do with the blood at slaughterhouses?
It's for farming. Well, some it goes for farming. Some goes to, dog food or pet food. Sorry.
I was wondering if some of that ever made its way in ketchup when I was a child.
I don't know. But I did see I think it was that dude that did all the dirty jobs or something like that.
Mike Rowe.
Yeah, I think I seen one of the episodes where they were making blood meal, and they got it from cows and pigs and stuff, and that it was a really dirty job.
That's one show title that lived up to its name for sure.
Yeah. And he said that the worst thing is the smell of iron. You could smell the iron in where they were working. and because you have to keep stirring it, and
Or it coagulates.
yeah.
It's like cement. That's one thing cement and blood has in common.
I don't know what season or what episode it was, but it's a local cricket farm. One of the episodes he would film was there.
Can you hear my wife snoring?
I wasn't gonna say anything.
And she says I'm the one that snores.
What?
Uh,
Well, usually we end this with talking about food, but we're going way past the
We're
food
past
stuff.
food. We're into bodily functions and all this other stuff.
It doesn't matter what. My wife doesn't watch YouTube at all. She won't even be in any of the videos. I'd have to sneak her in.
Sneak her in.
What's in blood pancakes, Jeff? Never heard of that one.
Probably blood. I've seen the blood sausage and stuff.
I've never had any like blood pudding or.
That you know of.
Allegedly.
I think we've determined there's not much food out there that's safe to eat, allegedly.
Oh, I thought I got me another email back. No, still the same one. Oh, I just Make It Make came up with a really good video. It's probably really hard for her to make too. And she comes out and talks about her being an alcoholic. She hasn't had any for a while, but even if you don't, you're still an alcoholic, even if you haven't had a drink in 30 years. But there's her link right there for that video. It's a really good video to watch.
Out of curiosity, was she like a hard liquor drinker or wine or beer?
Well, it all starts out the same way, and it gradually moves up. Yes, she is. She is a very nice lady. I felt sorry for her last year with the rotor tiller. I was like, oh, I wish I didn't live so far away.
That's the video you showed me.
Yeah, that big old rotor tiller was tossing around.
Yeah, those things are dangerous.
Yeah. Well, I think she was used to a front one and not a back propeller one.
Mm-hmm.
Because you do the opposite. Instead of pushing it down, you lift it up and then turn it.
Well, the problem with that thing, and she mentioned it didn't have a skid bar that regulated.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not easy for people to talk about, because I'm sure she's going to get those people, to think she's a bad person and whatnot, because she's not perfect, because the way people think, if you're on YouTube or TikTok or whatever, and you see any part of a flaw, then you're a horrible person. But I thought it was very brave of her to come out and talk about it, because A lot of times you don't know who is on the other side listening that it could help.
Definitely.
And there's no perfect person. The only perfect person that ever existed was Jesus.
Mm-hmm. And
One of those
sometimes,
things, it's a general topic. We've all known somebody who was affected by alcoholism at some point, you know, I think.
you know, I have somebody that uh, that talks to me about it and stuff, and she got her 3 month, and she told her family members and everything, and they could care less, you know. And I told her, you're doing this for you. You're not doing it for them. I said, the only thing they'll pay attention to is the bad things that you're going to do. The good things they'll overlook. So you have to do it for yourself. Now, if she was to mess up and get drunk and start up again, they would notice that more than the good thing that she did, that 30 days without having a drink.
Yep.
And that's why I told her you can't do it for your family, you can't do it for your friends, you have to do it for yourself. And then your family may come around. If they don't, then that's you can't force somebody to.
Yeah, people remember the bad things because a lot of
Mhm.
times bad things end in tragedy.
Yeah. And I was never a fan of the numbers, 30 days, this, 6 months without a drink, because you could be 3, 6, 8, 10 years and you mess up. You have to start all the way over. And that disappointment of starting over at one deters so many people. You would be surprised. They're like, I can't do this again. I can't go all the way to 10 again, or 3 years, or 30 days, or whatever it is. That's why I never liked counting the numbers. Even though when you go to your meetings, you're supposed to keep track of that. And I I kind of get it. It's a good thing, but if you mess up, I think it's worse than a good thing, because it's such a letdown when you fell that number. And that's all it is a number.
Yeah, I know of a lot of people that have problems like that. Actually, it's the same. A family member who passed away recently has a son younger than mine, and he's got liver problems already.
Oh yeah, but there's some that um,
And it's not just that. In
my
California, he, this guy's been in drunk driving accidents. I didn't realize you could have a cell phone in jail in California. No matter how bad it is, you get let out right away.
yeah. Well, that's a lot of places. I've known people that had 8, 9, 10 DUIs and still out driving. But like my grandpa, he didn't drive anyway. But I remember him driving to the lake and going fishing. But normally he just walked everywhere. um, he would drink moonshine every day. He had nothing wrong with his liver.
It's hereditary, part of it, with just like Native American Indians with tobacco, but yet they high incidence of alcoholism. So much of this is genetics. The same way with like how cancer runs in certain families and not in others. I've never drank moonshine.
Oh, I did.
What does
I
it,
wanted to see it, and that the first time I think I was 7 or 8.
what does it taste like? Does it taste like whiskey from?
Well, at that time, I don't know what it tastes like or anything after for a month. My taste buds and everything else were gone
They were destroyed
because
just for moonshine.
it just looked like water. I came outside screaming and hollering, and uh, my grandpa had a bunch of people sitting around the fire, and he looked at me and he knew, and he started cracking up laughing, and then he would told his friends, and everybody's laughing at me, and I'm like, I'm dying.
I had it off. A friend of mine a few years back. I don't know where he got it from. He had it in a mason jar. He said, "You want to try this?" And I said, "No." And I like a couple good beers every night, but I'm not going to try moonshine.
Yeah, he used to do some kind of mash. He did the corn, and then he did it would probably be called peach brandy, but he did it with peaches. He did it with pears, all kinds of stuff.
Thanks for the info, Jeff. I thought it would, my thinking is it would taste like, like some kind of whiskey.
Well, that's the thing. Some, like, if you get Mad Dog, it tastes horrible. But if you get a real nice wine, it tastes really good. It's just how it's made.
Just like when my wife's father died, we inherited some scotch. I remember drinking a shot of that once and thinking, who would like this stuff?
Yeah. I remember, well, I don't remember much of it, but I remember drinking it at first. We had Old Granddad and peppermint schnapps.
Mm.
Two things you do not want to mix together. It didn't taste good going down, and it didn't taste good going back out. Yeah, that's a whole other story that I don't really want to repeat because I got in trouble that day or that night and then the next day.
Like my in-laws when they were alive, like Christmas Eve, everybody would have a shot of Sambuca. It's just not my kind of a drink.
Yeah, remember.
I'd rather drink straight fruit punch without alcohol in it. A good fruit punch.
Come on. There you go. Or the cat. Yeah, I've seen a lot of heard a lot of stories of people dying from drinking moonshine, and that's why I get a kick out of watching the show, the Moonshiners, or whatever it's called. Soon as that thing starts kicking off and it starts dripping, they put a jar under there, and then they drink it.
Is it true it could cause you to go blind too?
No, that'll kill you.
Okay.
That's the bad stuff. You don't want to drink the first stuff that comes out of there.
Even that people say, there's a lot of chemicals in it. I need my orange juice in the morning, Bonnie. With the air being when the air's on in the summer and the forced hot air's on in the winter, I wake up as thirsty as I can be. And water doesn't cure it. Any kind of fruit juice does, though.
Your post. What? What? What post? Oh, are you talking about Signal? I don't even know where my phone is. I think it's. I don't know where it's at. Oh, right before Grace's. Um. Oh, this one. Oh, yeah, the kerosene.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, yeah. There's stories of them putting like a battery in their when they're making their moonshine and stuff.
Which tastes worse, kerosene or fuel oil?
Both taste pretty bad. Not only know that from cleaning out uh, uh, a heater because you have to blow the hoses out and stuff. Try to clean the filter out.
Okay, it's got to be blue if it's good moonshine, Jeff says. It's got to burn blue. Yeah, my friend originally grew up.
That's great. Their money.
I didn't know he even did that.
It's awesome.
I'm just curious, Jeff. I ask people questions about things just to learn more.
Well, with Jeff, you ask questions to learn what not to do.
I look at it like this: the memories of an older man, or the past deeds of a man when in his prime. And I remember already going to parties, and the punch was spiked, and didn't even know it.
Well, that was some good stuff, or it was weak stuff.
You know, kids in high school.
Yeah, that's what I used to say. We used to go to Circle K and get the big gulps and only put half pop in there, and then save the rest for Mad Dog. Go to the movies, or on occasion, I did take them to school once or twice.
What does Mad Dog taste like?
You don't want to know.
More of a
flavored kerosene. There you go.
Yeah.
But it was the thing back when you were a teenager. It's cheap, and it was cheap.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Like I couldn't stomach Boone's Farm apple wine.
That tastes like Kool-Aid compared to Mad Dog.
Yeah.
Grape wasn't too bad, and there was a blackberry that they never did have, but there was some red stuff. I think it was fruit punch. That, oh man, you could not get that stuff out of your system. You'd burp, and it was that awful fruit punch taste.
Well, once I bought cranberry juice at the Dollar Tree store, and I should have looked up the ingredients. It has a new artificial sweetener in it, and that stuff leaves a hell of an aftertaste. I was thinking, why is this? It says, cranberry juice. I've learned not to buy that ever again.
Yeah, pretty much.
What was that you put on there?
You have to be drunk before you can drink Mad Dog.
Okay.
Or you could say, once you're drunk, Mad Dog tastes pretty good.
Does it make you mad as a dog, though?
Oh, there's some people get mad,
It could.
and that's
It
the
could.
worst ones. The mean drunks,
Yeah.
where they start out nice and then they get mean the more they linger. Uh-oh. What hit the wrong button?
Maybe he went out to look for some moonshine. Just kidding. What?
Yep. Read all the ingredients before you buy it nowadays. And there's this one lady that goes in the grocery store and she'll pick something off and you ever wonder what, I don't even know the words, but the words that you can't pronounce because they go across the whole container.
It's a chemical. Yep.
Yeah, and she'll tell you what it is and what it does to your body and all kinds of stuff. And like I've said it before, Cheetos, it's the unhealthiest snack because they list things in snacks. It's the unhealthiest snack there is in the United States.
And you notice that the chemicals, you almost need a magnifying glass to read that stuff. It is so small.
Yeah.
They don't even know what's in it.
Usually they put it like if the container's red, they make it like a off red so you can't hardly make it out.
It's hard enough just to read the expiration dates on, let's say, pepperoni or sausage or ring bologna or cheese.
Mm. Well, you can get good bologna though. Amish make a good bologna up there. They do make they do batches. Sometimes they'll have beef ones or beef bologna, and then another time they'll have pork and chicken.
Well, I like the sweet Lebanon bologna. I know it's half fat like the Kunzler. I figure Pennsylvania has a heck of a lot of companies that make bologna, ring bologna, lunch meat.
Yeah, we were talking about that today. If you're from Ohio, Conn's potato chips. They used to be so good because they only used peanut oil. And once they switched to that synthetic crap, their chips just went downhill.
I've never seen that brand around here.
It's Ohio thing. I don't think that you can order them from their website, but mostly they're just in Ohio.
And I think Martin's potato chips, I haven't had them in years, still use Lord. That's probably healthier than a lot of the
yeah. Yeah, that's a good bologna. I think it was a year before I got some that had cheese and jalapeno in it. And oh man, that stuff was good. Yeah, that canola crap. That is so bad for you. And they say it's healthier than vegetable oil, healthier than this oil. Yeah.
My wife used to use that over a decade ago until she started reading that it's bad for you. Like the only oil she uses is olive oil.
And the olive oil you have to watch nowadays too, because if it's if it's the Walmart brand, it's full of the plastics and stuff.
Well, she gets the Italian brands that are from Italy.
Oh yeah, Italy and Spain are good ones.
And the funny thing is, I love olive oil, but I never liked olives.
Really?
Just never. I never liked olives ever.
Yeah.
And I know, like, you're supposed to use I think the thinner kind on salads and the thicker kind for cooking.
Yeah, some people don't like olive oil when you're cooking stuff, but
Well, when she cooks potatoes in a frying pan, olive oil.
yeah. Well, she probably puts butter with it too.
No, just olive oil and a little bit of garlic.
Oh, okay.
Now, having an Italian, the funny thing is she doesn't really put garlic in her food because it gives her indigestion. But it's like everything here is almost olive oil.
That's why. Well, I would probably use grapeseed oil for a lot of my tinctures and stuff, but it's too expensive. Sometimes if I find it on sale, and if it's not in a plastic container, which is really hard to find, grapeseed oil in not a plastic container, because a lot of the oils will absorb what it's in. That's why the old olive oil containers are metal, because it didn't taint the oil. And that's one of the things, like the Walmart brand is all the bad plastic, so it leaks right into it. Yeah, those thingies. Oh, that sounds good. Meatball Parmesan. Ooh. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it. It's after 11. Well, I was only going to be on for a couple hours. I keep saying that.
Well, you won 3 hours. I got here around 9.
Yeah. Buy olive oil in glass bottles.
Yeah.
Or the metal ones, but that's hard to find now.
ShopRite and Acme has those occasionally.
Ollie's does too. Sometimes. Probably next week. I'm not sure, but I'll probably start having guests again. I probably shouldn't say that, but oh well. But I have, and I'll probably save that for Friday, maybe next week. One of the ladies, it's a 2-lady team. One of the ladies is having some family issues, so I had to postpone it from this week. So hopefully next week we can get them, or if not, it'll just be one of the ladies.
You got a lot of views. I can't believe you got 2,000 views from the one video a few days ago.
Yeah,
I didn't realize how many people were watching.
Yeah, well, I had over 100 people at one time.
I guess I should have behaved a little better.
But like I said, I'll probably have guests next week. I'm not sure which day. I do believe the 18th for one, and I'm not sure for the next one. So we'll have to see. So make sure you keep an eye on that. As soon as I get more information, I'll go ahead and set it up ahead of time. But other than that, I'll be here Friday. Not sure if I'm going live tomorrow or not. We'll have to see what time I get back. But everybody have a blessed day, and we'll catch you on the next one.